Hi, everyone. Welcome to Vinewood Public Access, the only GTA channel coming to you live from the real Los Santos, San Andreas. Straight out of Vinewood and hosted by Rob Morris, American screenwriter, TV producer, and GTA super bitch. We cover GTA 6 news, GTA Online updates, and travel to the actual Grand Theft Auto locations in real life, exploring the inspirations for Vice City, Los Santos, Las Venturas, Liberty City, and more. We live stream 5 days a week where we cover GTA news, theories, take questions, and live call-ins. We even replay the classic Rockstar titles, sometimes while throwing back a few cocktails. It can get pretty wild on Wednesdays. VPA is also home to the #1 fan-created GTA talk radio station. Vinewood Public Access is a fully produced in-game radio station just like WCTR, Blaine County Talk Radio, or maybe the most like Chatterbox FM. It's written into the canon of GTA Online in the HD universe and actually syncs up with the 48-minute in-game day. There's hours of the station that include holiday specials and loads of Easter eggs for true fans of the series. So, if you're tired of the same old radio looping over and over, try putting on Vinewood Public Access the next time you boot up GTA 4, 5, or online. Available here on YouTube or Spotify. So that's who we are. Join our Discord server and let us know who you are. And consider becoming a member of the channel, because if you love Grand Theft Auto, you may have just found your new favorite thing. Welcome to Vinewood Public Access.
You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
Let's go. You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
3, 2, 1.
You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
Hell yeah! Let's go. Have a good one. Thank you.
You got your napkins or something.
What's up, everybody? It's Rob Morris from Vinewood Public Access.
Vinewood Public Access.
Head over to Vinewood Public Access.
Vinewood Public Access.
Go to Vinewood Public Access and click subscribe on YouTube. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
Davey.
I'm Rob Morris, and this is the real Hove Beach in Broker, in the real Vice Cities. This is the real Los Santos.
Hey, everybody calm down, relax, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You're tuned in to Vinewood Public Access, home of the #1 fan-created GTA talk radio station. I'm your host. It's me. I'm back. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I got to get rid of this overlay. That's incorrect. Get out of here. Very special treat for you folks today. I'm your host, Rob Morris, American screenwriter, TV producer, GTA super bitch, at your service. We got a good one. We got a hell of a show today. You know I've been talking about it for a while. I've been talking about the fact that this GTA content creator community became one word all at the same time, and we became commuter. This community is an absolute sausage festival, and I'm sick of it. I'm over it. I'm done with this shit. We need to talk to some ladies, because we're about to go into this brand new world of Grand Theft Auto where we have a female protagonist, okay? Never done that before. This is new. So we need to get some female perspective on this. I'm sick of these round tables with 5, 6, 8, 20 different dudes hanging out like it's a goddamn locker room. I'm over it. So today, we're going to get into it, and we're going to talk to a dear friend of mine. Her name is Gia, RP Gia, on Twitch and on YouTube. You can find the link down in the description below. Before I even show her beautiful face and her lovely voice, you're going to go into that description. You're going to click on the link to her YouTube channel, and you're going to subscribe to it right now, okay? There's already, she's just getting started, but there's already GTA content, Watch Dogs content. There's going to be more of this. She streams all sorts of fun games on Twitch. You're going to want to be a part of that. So go and participate in the whole Gia situation. Before we get to that interview, which we will have her on in just a minute, she will be live with us. I know what you're thinking. Rob, in the past, when you say you have someone on the show, they're not really here. You're playing some pre-recorded interview that you did, jackass, and you try to fool us, make us think that it's really happening live. Not today. I got her on the line right now, folks. She's in the green room, so to speak, just waiting to talk to me and to talk to you. So it is really happening. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I see the chat is already popping off. I'm going to be very frank with you and say that we will be including the chat. You will be able to ask your questions for Gia. She will respond to them, but that will happen after I talk to her for a little while. So I want you to get to know her. I want you to hear her thoughts and opinions. Our moderators are going to take the best questions from the chat, collect them, send them to me, and then I will ask her these questions when we get to the end. Maybe we'll take some live questions in the moment, but for the most part, I want to make sure that we have a chance to get to know her first. Before we get to all of that, of course, have to give a big shout out to our moderators and our station financiers, Blind Fury and Gambit Arcana, OK Newman, Mrs. VPA cannot be left off the list, and of course, Spizike Spiegel, also a station financier. And thanks to Worst by Far, Sour Wiles, and Chase Haddon for keeping the lights on. It means the world to us. And last but not least, it is still the month of July for another week or so. So we've got to give our big ups to the VPA Employee of the Month, Lamar. Let him hear that shit.
What you mean, fuck this Employee of the Month shit, man? When there's some shit to be won, goddammit, I want it. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know what I'm talking about? I take no prisoners. I go hard doing this shit. Big dog, big nuts. When names is on the motherfucking board, I want to see my name at the top of that motherfucking. Next to it, it needs to say, winner.
Boom! It does need to say winner, and it does say winner if your name is Urban Shogun. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You are the real S-ho. We love you from the bottom of our heart to the top of our perfect fat titties. You know what it is, and we thank you for everything that you do. It's going to be a hell of a chat, and I'm really looking forward to this. Gia is really lovely. Like I said, please drop your questions for Gia in the chat, and our moderators will collect them. But without further ado, let's get over to it right now. I can't say thank you enough for being a part of it. RPGia, everybody. Hold on. You know what? I did a shit job of getting her mic ready. So I'm going to she looks lovely, doesn't she, folks? How delightful. But I want to make sure that you can also hear her. Yeah, I can hear her. You can't. Hold on. I got it. Boom, boom. Like I said, if you haven't already, please go over and subscribe to her channel. Let me make sure that this is coming through. Give me a test real quick.
Testing.
There we go. That sounds right. If you all,
okay, cool.
If you all can hear her, that's what matters. Yes. Fantastic. First of all, thank you for being here and talking to us.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm super excited. I've loved our connection, loved getting to nerd out over video games. So this is like a dream.
Okay, so here's the way I kind of structured it out. And I got some questions for you. I just want to let everybody get a chance to get to know you and where you're from and what your whole vibe is, since you might be new to them, and I almost guarantee that you are. And then we're going to talk GTA stuff and gaming stuff, and we'll dive into all of it. This is my first question anytime I've ever interviewed somebody. And I went to a class once where they asked me to come in as a speaker. This was after I'd graduated college. I went back to my alma mater, and this guy was teaching a class on interviewing. And he said, "What is the first question, Rob, that you ask people that you interview?" And I was like, "Where are you from?" And he laughed because he was like, "I always tell them that's the least interesting thing that you could ask somebody." It's like, because normally when you ask that question, you get a city, a location, and then it kind of dies there. But there's always more to that for me. So let's start with that with you. Gia, where are you from?
Los Angeles, born and raised, mostly in the South Bay by the beach cities. Yeah, I've lived here literally my whole life.
So you're from San Andreas, to put it in GTA terms.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Have you ever lived anywhere else?
No, just like various places among LA.
Okay.
Like from the valley to the city to the beachside, like the whole gambit.
And what's the family dynamic at home? Let's talk about that. And I mean specifically, like, you got mom, dad, what are we doing for a living? Are we growing up with some money? Are we growing up in a cardboard box? Are you somewhere in between?
Yeah. So I was like very lucky, very blessed to have like just a strong middle class family. Like, it was one of those, like, vacations were very, very rare. We weren't one of those families who were going on vacations all the time. But it was like, go out to dinner once in a while, go out to a movie. My parents are also super creative. They're both musicians. My dad was a drummer for XYZ, which is like a metal, like 90s hair metal band, 80s hair metal band, that is so sick. My mom is a singer-songwriter. She's now like in her older age getting into voiceover, which she's so good at. She wants to do video game voiceover, which is so fucking sick. And yeah, they were always just like very loving and encouraging of my artist side, my creative side, wanted me to always lean into that, hold on to that. And like,
what does that
cultivate it as
look
much as I
like? I mean,
can.
what does that mean when you say supportive of the artist side? Like, what were you trying to do as a kid? And they were like, "Oh, hell yeah, let's go."
So it was like most things that I had ideas about, they were very excited about. But the big thing was like my mom from a very young age, before I even knew that I love like videography, photography. As a kid, I was like making home movies with my friends and like editing them. And like I was the one with the camera, being like, let's do this story. Like, I'll shoot it, I'll edit it. You're the star.
You
Like,
didn't want to be
that
on
was always super
camera.
fun. What'd you say?
You didn't want to be on camera?
No, I did, but I also just like had the camera. So I was like the one who had the stuff. I had a digital blue camera. That was my first one ever.
Nice.
Which, if anyone knows about digital blue, it came with a stop motion thing as well, which was super cool.
Okay. So you're making like, what kind of stuff are you making with your friends when you're young? You're doing content at what age? How old are you when you're making these little movies?
When I had the digital blue, I was like 6 to 8.
6?
You know?
Do we have
not
any of the?
kindergarten.
I can
No,
put
no,
it
no,
on
maybe-
screen.
maybe-
What kind of footage do we have from your 6-year-old blue camera days?
Oh my God. I think about that all the time. I wish I had it, but I don't. It's like 7 years old. I viscerally remember like being under my bunk bed, shooting a bunch of like stop motion videos with just like little items that I had.
You're like
and I
making
don't
little
think-
animated little creatures dance around and shit like that.
Yeah, I was. And then like as I got older, it progressed into like those I do have on an old YouTube that is still around and active. I have these old like videos I made with my friends of like we would do like scary movies. I really got into horror.
Okay.
And so I have a couple like short horror films that I made with my friends.
I'm gonna need
that
you
are just
to
silly and
dig
stupid.
those up, and we're gonna need to show everybody that for sure. No exceptions.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely, absolutely.
Earliest video game you remember playing? What was the first one ever?
Okay. The very first game I ever remember playing.
Great nails, by the way.
Thank you. Honestly, I think it wasn't a kid game because when I was a kid, my dad was into some PC games.
Your dad's a
And he let
gamer?
me play a few. Huh?
Your dad's a gamer?
He was. I wouldn't really call him a gamer. He doesn't like play anymore. Although he did get me a new like I had him play a couple games recently and he was into it. I
How
had him
old's your
play Tomb
dad?
Raider. How old's my dad?
Yeah.
He just turned 60.
Okay. So you've got
Yeah.
like an older Gen X dad, basically. Like,
Yes.
not quite a baby boomer, like older Gen X dad. So your dad was definitely growing up as a teenager, maybe late teens, when video games are like popping off for the first time.
Yes. So when I was a kid, and you know, it's like rocker dad, he had a
Right.
kid at 27, like
That's how old my dad
he
was.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he was like so one of the first games that he let me play that I remember playing was Half-Life Blue Shift, and I was way too young to play that game. And the little monsters absolutely terrified me.
Good first game.
But oh my God, it's so good. I actually I got it recently again. I was like, I want to play this. I'm not playing Blue Shift. I'm playing Half-Life 2. But I'm remembering, I'm like, God, the puzzles in here are quite annoying.
Did you
Like,
grow up with a console in the house or was it just PC?
yeah, so my first console was a PS2.
Okay. I mean, the greatest selling and maybe greatest generation of gaming ever.
Jesus, I love that. So I had a PC. I was my dad, after he moved out of his rocker days, got into tech and computers and stuff. So I had a PC. So the first games that I was playing as a kid were like The Sims, like the original Sims.
Peak.
I played a lot of like Barbie games. They had a bunch that were just absolutely fantastic and that I still love to like look at and play. If I see, like, I'll go on YouTube and be like, Barbie Secret Agent full gameplay, you know, and just like watch somebody play through
We
that.
were
But,
talking about this and I let you know and strap in. We got a brand new Barbie game coming out right before GTA 6 on November 12th. Barbie Rewind.
I know. And like, who knows what that's going to be? Because some of the Barbie games were not good. Some were not
Okay.
good. Some were not
Some
fun.
of them weren't great, apparently. But some of them were real bangers, is your point.
Yeah, some of them were real bangers. Like
Okay.
Barbie Detective.
Of course.
So good.
I missed
Yeah.
it, but I'm going to take your word for it 100%.
Yeah, those are good.
I
But the
will say-
PS2 is when I really found my stride, I think.
Okay, first game on the PS2 that was like your game. Your parents were like, we don't care about this, but you were like immersed and lost and you played it for hours.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's definitely the Bratz game. I
The
think it was called
Bratz
like
game?
the Rock World
Like
or
the
whatever.
dolls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a video game. That was so fun. It was like a little mini RP, like open world RPG, and you could like run into a bunch of NPCs. There was actually a few like viral videos going around on TikTok somewhat recently about the Bratz game and just like the funny audio that they have in there. People are streaming it, which is super fun and super cool. And then there was this other like horse game that I loved because I love horses. So it was called like some Pippa's something. The name is weird because it had two releases, one in Europe and then one in America, and they actually
Right.
named it two different things,
They
even though
do
it's the
that.
same game.
Yeah, they one of my favorite games of all time is Dark Cloud 2. And it was called something totally different in the original release in Japan. And it's always confusing to try to find it, especially older games, because especially if you're trying to find like an emulator or different things, it can be complicated to find the difference on that. Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of doll-based content that you're experiencing as a young girl. If it was a doll and then they animated it into a game where you could control the doll, which, if you think about it, is kind of akin to what you were doing with stop motion with your Blue camera, because you're over here taking toys and little things and making them move around, and then PlayStation comes around and they're like, Gio, we got you covered, girl. We got some dolls that you can move around with the controller.
And the girls, and it was great.
Say that one more time for me.
They had the boys and the girls. They had the male dolls, the female dolls, and it was like getting to play as all the characters that you wanted to play was absolutely amazing. And because Bratz as the dolls, just in real life, were all about like fashion, they were like, you had Barbies and then you had Bratz.
Right.
And the Bratz were like the bad girls.
They had the
and they were,
attitude
like,
problem.
they had attitude and they were hot. And
Yeah.
so you got to like
Bigger
play in
heads.
that world, which was great.
Bigger heads,
dress
shorter
them up.
legs, if I remember correctly, with the Bratz dolls.
They had big heads. Yeah, big heads, big eyes. They had attitude.
Almost leaning into like the anime style of like animation and stuff like that, with like just bigger features. Whereas Barbie was very like, you know, very small, and like it was about how tall she was.
Yeah, Barbie's feet were everything. Her feet and her legs.
A generation of foot
definitely-
gooners, I think, were born off of the whole Barbie culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was a fully arched foot.
So
That's rare.
You're-
You don't get that.
You're going to excite our chat a little. Wouldn't say fully arched foot too many more times. With some of the guys who
Or
are in
put my
here
hand in
watching.
that position.
Yeah, I don't know. We
I'll
might
scale
have to
back.
scrub that out. All right, let's fast forward then. Okay, so give us the full scope though. We're starting with Bratz and Barbie and all these like doll-based games. What are you playing the most of right now? What's getting the most of your time?
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw this out there just because it's a statistical, like, this is what most of my gaming hours are being used by. So when I am at work, I have downtime fairly frequently.
What do you do for work?
I nanny. I take care of 2 little beautiful children. And when they're doing homework and stuff, I sometimes sneak on to play Stardew Valley. So on my laptop, I can only play a couple games, and not even gonna lie, Stardew Valley and Toontown, I kind of return to just like fill my time there.
Stardew
However,
Valley is a masterpiece.
it's
It is.
beautiful.
Harvest Moon, which is the series that it is based on, it was like a real hour eater of my childhood. Like it absolutely, I mean, 64, I played it again in 64. I played it again when they had it on PlayStation and on N64. I played it on both. They did some sequels later where it got a little bit more 3D, and I was like, that's when I fell off. And the guy who made Stardew Valley, who made it all by himself, basically, was a Harvest Moon fanatic. And he just like took everything that worked from all the best versions of Harvest Moon. And Stardew Valley is perfect.
I fully agree. I played Harvest Moon for the first time on PS5 maybe a couple years ago. And this was after I was already into Stardew Valley, and I was like, oh, I can totally see how somebody who made Stardew Valley would take away all this stuff that is good about this game and remove all the stuff that's more like time consuming,
Tedious,
just a little like talking to too many like you have to rebuild the entire freaking town. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to like live in a place that's already built up a little bit and just do my own thing. Because I'm a very chaotic player. I like to stay away from the main quest. So,
and what is your what is your tag over on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken? Is it RPG?
My tag?
Isn't there another title?
It's RPG. I used to be Chaotic Gamer Bish.
That's what I was looking for.
That was my old tag before I did my little rebrand, Chaotic Gamer Bish, because I like the chaos.
What does that mean for you?
So I have a deep-seated sense of whimsy in my heart. So when I really like RPGs, and especially open world, where you can go through the world and like it doesn't matter, like nothing is going to bump you into the main quest if you're not ready for it and you're not asking for it. If I get repeatedly bumped into like new story points that like keep moving the story forward before I'm really ready to explore, I'm into those games. They're great, but also like I can get bored, I guess, with the plot sometimes, and I'm like, I just want to explore. I just want to do things. And usually in a good open world game, when I'm exploring, I can kill shit. I can like walk around, I can be a menace, I can like save really quick, do the most chaotic things possible, and then die and then come back.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy that.
You like kind of
lot.
testing the limits of what the game can be.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So And to follow up on your question, on my PC at home, when I'm not doing my little Stardew Valley,
Right.
I've been coming back to Watch Dogs 1. I've been replaying Far Cry 5, although I want to do a deeper, like, immersive dive on that. So I'm putting a hold on it until I can, like, really, really get into it because that game is so rich and so good. And I'm playing Happy's Humble Burger Farm, which is a horror fast food simulator. And
Pause,
I'm
please.
obsessed with that.
Apologies for the interruption. Pause. Did you just say horror fast food simulator?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Let's not pave over that. Let's take 1 second to explain what the fuck that means. What are you saying right now?
Please. Happy's Humble Burger Farm needs its due. It needs its flowers. That is not a very popular game, and it needs to be. Okay? For anyone who loves simulation games, this has one of the best fast food simulations I've ever played in a game.
Okay.
You basically, the story is that you are under some kind of experiment by this company called Biotech, I believe. And you wake up in this like 64-bit, like almost 2D-ish type of simulator. Like it looks very old school and like VHS horror.
I
right?
love that. I mean, we're Vinewood
Yes.
Public Access, so we appreciate old school VHS style.
Yes. It's so good. I love when games do that. So they drop you off in this world and you are an employee at this place, Happy's Humble Burger Farm. Happy is a cow and comes from a TV show with a cast of other animals. And your like job is to show up. You have a little apartment, you go to work every day, make some burgers, make some hot dogs for this fast food place, clock out of your shift and go home. But if you do the wrong thing, if you don't do things by the book, the way that Happy wants you to, then scary stuff starts to happen. And scary stuff happens like all around the town, but like definitely when you're on your shift, you see like scary figures moving. They like shut off your lights, they shut off your appliances, they try to make things harder for you in the process.
This is a PC game?
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's PC.
Okay, is this like on Steam?
It sure is.
Is
Probably
it,
for like
is it
$8 or
multiplayer or is
something.
this fully a solo experience?
Thank God you asked, Rob. They just came out with a co-op.
Can we
very
co-op
recently.
stream this game? Because I'm fascinated by it already.
Yes. Yes, please. I think you can have up to 4 players.
Let's go.
And you all work at Happy's, and it's so good.
We got to do that, and we got to do Schedule 1.
Yes, please. Please, please, please. I haven't done the Happy's co-op yet, but I have like gave myself my own employee of the month thing, right?
Okay, word.
So like, you know, Lamar can call me out because I am the employee of the month at Happy's Humble Burger Farm. I am the best who's ever done it.
I don't doubt that at all, and I can't wait to both see it and show everybody else. I'm going to do a little checklist here, just so, because I've seen some things in the chat, and I want to kind of clear some things up to people know whether or not you've done some of these things. So
Please.
I'm just going to name some games, and you tell me if you've played the franchise, and really quick, this is almost a lightning round thing, rattle off which ones in the franchise you've played. You don't have to go into detail, but just like, I've done 1, I've done 2, I didn't do 3, whatever. You ready?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Witcher.
1. When Witcher 3.
Only Witcher 3.
Only Witcher 3, like halfway.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, full thing.
Okay. Sleeping Dogs.
No.
Okay. Skyrim.
Yeah.
All of them?
No. Elder Scrolls only, and as usual, didn't finish the main quest. I just live in that world.
Got it. Like Morrowind and stuff like that, the old school?
Whatever the 24, I think it was 2014.
So that's the other.
I
it's not
played
Skyrim,
the Skyrim
but-
special edition, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
5.
Copy that. Hitman World of Assassination series.
I have it downloaded. I'm gonna stream that and make a thing of it when I'm done with GTA 5.
Hell yeah. You will love Hitman so much.
I'm so excited. I heard about it through Annie Austin and I was like, oh, I need to play.
Amazing. Fable.
No.
Not an Xbox player.
No.
That's why. Okay, let's do the GTA list. So which GTA games have you played? Don't feel like you have to lie to us. Tell us the truth. It's okay.
Yeah. One, like, way back in the day when someone had a console wasn't mine. I don't
The
even know what it
top-down
was.
one?
No, not top down. I mean,
So GTA
it might
3
as
then.
well. Yeah, it might. Yes, it might have well as been like totally a new game because I barely remember that.
Okay.
But yeah, out of all the GTA games, only 5.
Okay. So you've got a familiarity with that. What about Red Dead Redemption?
Yes. Oh my God. That is another world I live in. And I am like paused the story on like 65% because I'm like, I don't want to continue.
1 and
I
2?
want to I just want to be friends with everyone. Yeah, Red Dead 2. I have played a little bit of Red Dead 1. I do enjoy that as well, but Red Dead 2 is where my heart's at.
Okay. I love that. Let's talk about this new game. Let's talk about GTA 6 a little bit. This is where I want to get into your perspective on a number of things. I'm going to kind of use this as a vehicle to ask you some other stuff too.
Amazing.
You're aware that this is going to be the first GTA game that's going to have a female protagonist. We have had in my, various dissertations on this, I've mentioned an evolution of female characters in general. We've never had a protagonist before, but in Rockstar games, if you go all the way back to the earlier days of when they were really developing female characters, they're very two-dimensional. They're either the mafia wife who's just complaining and you never really get to know her. They're the crazy crime bitch Catalina in GTA 3 who's just like a psycho who's yelling. They're not super deep characters. We often don't get to learn a lot about them. And one of the things that we've also not really done, GTA 4 did this a little bit. We've never really seen a romantic relationship develop in a deep way. I was almost going to say a healthy way. I don't anticipate necessarily a healthy relationship between Jason and Lucia in GTA 6. It's likely going to be problematic. However, in the past, what I mean is like in GTA 5, for example, which you have played, right? You've got Michael and Amanda, who are this couple that have been married for a long time. But from the beginning of the game, they're at each other's throats and like hate each other. And it's clearly like what should be the end of a marriage, even though they do canonically stay together. You've got Tanisha has already broken up with Franklin before the story even starts, and you never get to see like what happened to them really. Again, canonically, they kind of get back together, though we never see her again. There are a couple of other relationships that we kind of see come and go. GTA San Andreas, there's this girlfriend feature that you can kind of have, which is also somewhat present in GTA 4. But the relationships are really like almost like a low-level version of The Sims, where it's like, can you bed them? And then if you do, you get a car or you get unlimited health. There's some kind of gameplay bonus from maxing out the relationship. To take it back and give it some context for you, what has it been like for you as a female gamer who's been gaming their whole lives? It's very much a part of your identity. It's become a part of now what you're doing for work and making content and things like that. What has been the journey like for you as a female gamer across your life? Is it weird? Is it isolating being in something that seems to be so dominated by men? Let's just start with that.
Yeah, so I am definitely one of I'm the type of person who, if the main character makes sense for the story, then it doesn't even faze me. So a lot of the time growing up with games, like the main character is always a man, and it works really well. Like for whatever reasons, it makes sense. And what I've noticed is like, especially in the recent years, I guess, a lot of people want to shoehorn a female character into a story, whether it be a movie, whether it be a game. And because they're shoehorning it, because they're like, we need women on the screen, the characters come off like, quite honestly, a little bit annoying or sometimes out of place. And so with GTA 6, when it comes to adding a female character in, like, I have a little bit more more hope, right? So it's like coming from a place where female characters were so underdeveloped and they were kind of just representing this side part of the psyche of like, that annoying like fly by my face, right? Like, get out of here, stop whining, stop complaining. I really hope that they bring this character, Lucia, like into life in a way that doesn't feel annoying, doesn't feel like you're putting her in here just to have a female character. And that it doesn't do this weird like I'm better than the men. Watch how I can do it better than the men. Because that I think is what we really need is like I want to be seeing female characters who are badass simply because they're badass, not because they're saying how much better they are than men at what they're doing. That is like a character that I think is very rare and is like, oh, so deeply needed in all kinds of media.
Absolutely. So if let's say we're a year or two down the road and we're looking back and people are saying Lucia Caminos is like one of the greatest GTA protagonists, fuck that, one of the greatest video game protagonists of all time. What do you think would make her successful in that?
Great question. I definitely think one of the things that would make her a great female protagonist is being highly and deeply skilled at what she's doing, right? Like she has a natural skill and swagger about her that was brought up because she lives in the world that she does, not necessarily in spite of it. That you can really feel, where's this game set? Miami again?
Yeah.
Like that Miami and the things of her past have fed into her DNA.
Oh,
She's
hold on.
just that
I think we lost your video for a second.
Oh, let me know if I'm back. Nothing has changed on my end. Can you see me?
No, unfortunately, it just went to your profile picture for some reason.
Oh, hold on. Let me check that out. Hold on.
Yeah, we hear you great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my Discord went out for a second, but it's
it's all good. No worries.
Back.
I see the little dots.
Couple more seconds. Let me try.
Oh, it says failed to start camera. Oh, there you go.
It's my Mac camera, but let's see.
I mean, I'll take it, and it looks fine. And I actually don't see your. If you just scoot your DJI to the right a little bit, it won't even be in the shot anymore. This is fine.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, if it's looking like it's not going to come back for some reason, so I'll just do this for.
It's okay. Oh, but it's. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Sake.
Yeah, just scoot that to your right.
Scooting and readjusting.
There we go.
Come here, guys. Come a little closer. Okay. How's that?
It's okay. It's a little low frame rate, but I think it'll pick up.
It is, huh? Let me just do a little wipe of the camera.
It's all good. I think it's mostly a connection thing.
Probably. All right.
We'll take it. We'd rather hear you than anything else.
Okay. All right, guys. Remember how I looked before this, okay?
No, you look great. Now, actually, this looks fantastic now. Now it's coming through very clear.
Okay.
You were saying about female protagonists and Lucia and her being successful.
Oh, yes. Yes. So it would be great if she was like, you could feel that she was built by her world and not in spite of it. I don't want to see a character coming out who's like, I do what I do because I have to, but I hate it. It would be dope if she literally, like I said before, is she's like, oh, I am that bitch. Like, and you can feel that in her. I think that would be a really key component into her becoming like the greatest protagonist.
And I think it would stand out too against the stereotype, which possibly is well earned, of like women in Miami. Because if you were theoretically, and I know a lot of people who live in Miami actually, if you were a female who saw most of their value in how they look and how they dress in very two-dimensional aesthetic, and they were like, look, this is what I have to offer the world. That's my primary value. And your goal was to go somewhere where that is given credence, and also your goal was to get a man to solve all the other issues that might be in your life, money, status, whatever, provide a certain life for you, with you saying, look, I'm just really hot and I'm a really bad bitch in personality, and that's what I do. It's not about my skills necessarily. It's not about knowledge that I have on anything in particular, except that thing. If you were that type of gal, I think one could argue Miami is a great town for you. That town will support you and build you up to let you achieve those goals. You're going to do a lot better chasing that carrot in Miami than, say, Akron, Ohio, or even New York City. New York City is like, oh, so you're pretty. So what? They're real quick to be like, what else you got? LA can kind of be like that too. You can be super hot and have a great personality out here, but then people are like, who do you know? What are you doing? And it's like, oh, Miami's like, you look like that and you got that on, and maybe you got a little bit of your own coin, even if it's your dad's. Great. I'll take it. And it would be great to see Lucia, I think, in contrast to that dynamic that occurs so often in that real life version of that city.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good observation, right? Because like growing up in a town where so many people are obsessed with their looks, or so many people do rely on like the more feminine skills of, you know, their charisma, their willingness to persuade. It's like, no, we do want to see characters who are more than that. And we want to see also a world look at them and not be like, you're just a girl, you're just this, you're just that.
Right.
But again, like, how much can you rise to the challenge just by who you are? Like, you are around a bunch of men shooting up people, like doing crimes. Like, so how good are you, female or not?
Right.
I think that is like such a potent element of storytelling that, that changes everything.
What do you think is one thing that like Rockstar Games kind of can't afford to screw up with her? Like, what's one thing that you're like, man, please, you kind of have alluded to an element of this, but I just want to package it in this other way. What's one thing that you're like, Rockstar, when you make this character, please don't get this one thing wrong?
The one thing I beg is, please do not make her a man hater. I don't want to hear every other line being like a gender comparison. Like, that would absolutely fucking ruin it. 100%.
Have you seen that in other games or movies in particular that you're like, this is, you've taken me out of it. I want to like this game. I want to like this movie. I want to like this character, but she's obsessed with this men suck, and so I don't care anymore.
Oh my God, all the time. It's like constantly showing up in movies and TV nowadays. It's actually like hard to get away from. And that character is usually contrasted by a guy who's not in his full power. So it's like easy to shit on him, easy to complain about him, easy to be the one who's like, well, I really am better. So yeah, I never like that dynamic of like, I'm the smart woman and my husband's the dumb guy. And that's how life is, isn't it? It's like, no.
Right.
And I want to stop pretending that we live fully in that world.
It makes me think of the sitcom era of things like King of Queens, which, don't get me wrong, great show, Kevin James, Leah Remini. But there was this era in sitcoms where it was like overweight, goofy dude, super hot wife, constantly disappointed in him.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've gotten away from that, but there's still elements of that dynamic that come into play.
Yes. I think to that note too, it's like that dichotomy, I feel like, was still for a mostly male audience in a way where it's like, I'm just an average dude, but hey, what can you do?
Right.
And like, that was kind of it.
It's like
and it was
Shruggy
still on
Joe.
the man's side. And what?
Shruggy Joe. Just, I don't know. I'm out here doing my best, but
Yeah. It's like I'm just a guy doing my best. But now, like with the social culture, political culture, it's shifted. So it's coming more from the women's perspective of like, oh, see what I have to deal with.
right.
And it leans more heavily on that. And that's becoming more annoying because that is also where a lot of like negative traits in women come up of the nagging, the complaining, the being all the things that everyone complains about women. Like we're pushing ourselves more into that position now more than ever by thinking that's power, and it's not.
Right. And it's kind of that's kind of the entire narrative of the sort of, to use a popular trendy word right now, of the manosphere attitude about women, which is like, look at how they're always trying to keep you down. Like you're just a dude out here trying your best, and Hollywood wants to say that you're canceled and you can't do anything or say anything, and it's all the world trying to keep you down, bro. And you know who's the number one perpetrator? Are women trying to limit your potential. They don't want you to do great. And then at the same time, when you come up short, it's your fault. It's like, you can't win with these broads, man. Like that feels like the attitude that is really permeated a lot of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, but also across just the whole spectrum of culture against women. And I think that, to your point, that's something Rockstar really can't afford to play too fast and loose with. They have to be very particular so that people aren't playing this game being like, man, see, if Lucia would just get out of the way, Jason could be everything that he wants to be, but he can't be happy because she's the problem. And I think that flies in the face of a common fan theory, which is, it is well supported by the information we have from trailers and screenshots and website information. And that fan theory is Jason wants out of the whole thing. He wants out of the crime thing. He's had a troubled life. He's had a difficult time. But Lucia is greedy, and she wants the status, and she wants the things, and she won't let him out. And she's got him tied in and is guilting him and manipulating him with, if you loved me, you'd help me keep winning. But I don't know that you do, because you want to quit and go what? Live on a farm and be happy? Enough. We can do better than that. And I expect more of you.
Yeah. Which is like, if they lean into that, I think that could be very rich and very cool. If she's coming from a place of like, just got out of jail, like wanting power, wanting whatever, and it's coming from this genuine place of like, let's take over. And because it seems like they have this Bonnie and Clyde thing going on. But to know that one part of the party, any split in that of like somebody wanting to be like, I want to get out, and the other person wanting to keep going, that is so rich and so beautiful and painful.
Right.
And I think if they do that well and they do that right, it's going to be amazing. I would hate to see, the feedback being like, oh, I hate playing as Lucia. Like, God, I wish I could just get through this mission.
People are already saying that now, and the game's not even out. One of my most viral, and viral for me, but like 70,000 views on TikTok. One of my clips I posted recently that just like blew up, and a lot of it was the engagement of the chat. Someone asked during a live stream that I had, do you think we'll be able to choose who to play as most of the time, or are they going to force us to play as both characters? Now, this was obviously said by someone who's not played a lot of Rockstar games, because it's pretty obvious that they really try to force you in a kind of linear way to engage with as much of the story that they made as possible. It's not like we created 5 branches, pick your favorite and ignore the rest. They're like, no, you're going to be Trevor for a while. You're going to be Franklin for a while. You're going to be Michael for a while. You're going to hear each of their stories out. Now, you go to free mode for a fair amount of the game. You could just pick your favorite guy and go run around, do whatever you want as your favorite guy. But when we get back to the story, there are certain perspectives we want you to experience. And the amount of people in the TikTok comment section under that video that were like, oh, man, I just don't want to play as her. I don't want to. And they're going to make me, and that sucks. Now, for every one of those comments, there's 50 comments replying to it being like, you suck and just play as her and stop being a sexist piece of shit. But like the sentiment is still there, which is like, this isn't why I play GTA. I don't do it to play as a chick, man. I want to be a badass dude running around doing badass bro shit. Please don't force this woke play as a chick. Don't shoehorn a female into my guy game. What are your thoughts on that?
Like, valid. The ending part is valid. Don't shoehorn a female into the game. Don't push it in just because you want her there and because there's been a lack of characters. Do it because she can bring real presence, real depth, real high stakes,
right,
and challenge the plot in a way that we have never seen before. Like, and also to that note, it's like the other side of that coin is video games are a piece of art. Like, people are making this because it is a story that needs to be told. It's not just a point and shoot game,
right?
Like with no plot. Like,
right.
You are watching a movie unfold that you get to be a part of, and that is fucking special.
Yeah.
And the better the story, the more special it becomes, the more meaningful it becomes to you. So getting to see multiple perspectives, and I get it, like, I hate playing as Trevor sometimes. I don't like it. I have characters that I prefer,
right,
but it makes sense where it's like, okay, you're coming to plot points in the story where you need to see the B story. You need to get off the A story. You need to like immerse yourself in multiple sides of this plot to really understand the depth of what's going on. And if you're not willing to see that, you shouldn't be playing a Rockstar game. You shouldn't be playing game, like, stick to Skyrim, stick to something where you can just be the one person and, get on. Like, if you're just looking to be a macho man who shoots shit, there's a bunch of stuff out there for you that's
right,
not this,
right,
and go enjoy that. But if you are willing to really see a good fucking movie play out that you play a part of.
Right. Which has always been the approach of Rockstar Games, is to make a really good movie that you get to play. They've said that from the beginning. I mean, the Housers have said that for 25 years. Every game they've ever made, that is exactly the approach. We want to make an epic, blockbuster level movie that you get to be in. You get to experience it in almost literally, more recently, a first-person perspective to go through that. And to your point, you can't really properly experience Sandy Shores or the top 60% of the map in GTA 5 as Michael and Franklin. You could go there as those people, but Trevor is the person who's going to engage in that world in a way that lets you actually experience the fullness of the world.
Yes, right. Because these characters, they have different perspectives from where they live if the writing is good. And in GTA, it is. So you go to these places, your different characters will have different interactions with people, different thoughts, different exchanges with the NPCs. And to neglect one of those just because you don't like playing as them, I'm like, you got something else going on internally.
Also, to make your mind up about whether or not you want to play as a character because you've watched 2 trailers is bananas. Like, you don't know. You don't know anything about who she is or what. Maybe they are going to drop the ball and shoehorn a chick in that could just be reskinned as a guy and you wouldn't even know the difference. I would not put my money on that because I've been playing this company's games for 2.5 decades. However, you don't know that yet. And so the idea that you're stuck on, like, oh, they just put this woman in the game and she's Latina and they're doing it to satisfy some sort of woke ideology is just really short-sighted of, like, you know what? Benefit of the doubt. Maybe. But you don't fucking know that yet.
Fear, because that is what we've seen from a lot of female characters, is that they're super woke and it's really annoying.
Yeah. It's true. And I think that comes, like you said, it comes from a legitimate fear of things they've seen happen before. And they go check it out and they're like, yeah, but I don't care about her. And you're making me do it. Make me care. You know,
Yes.
It's almost like when, and I'm not going to put like something specific on this, but it's almost like in politics when someone is so bad that they're like, you have to vote for the other person. You're like, but shouldn't that person earn my vote? Shouldn't I still want to vote for them other than the fact that they're just not the person I'm supposed to hate? Like, it has to have depth. You have to earn people's trust and interest in you.
It shouldn't be Lucia's here because people hate men.
Right.
That's not, it's just not a legit, and I don't think that they'll do that, but again, it's a very, very legitimate fear. Like, I have not kept up on, you know, the Star Wars trilogies or whatever, but it's like, that's what they're doing with their women.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I've heard that. Again, I haven't really kept up, but I can hear that for sure. It's like, what is it? Daisy Ridley's character in the new trilogy? I cannot remember what her name is. Ray? Ray, I think.
Ray, yeah, Ren. I don't know.
If you were to just recast as a fella, is it a different movie, really? I don't know if it is. Which also makes the argument of like, is a character, does their gender have to be tied into their experience of every world that they're in? Could you go back and switch Luke and Leia's gender, and would it change much? I would argue that it kind of would, because no one really puts the same faith in Leia because she's a lady. And so she has to fight against that. She has to rise above the fact that there isn't that situation. But, okay. Yeah. With that being said, do you think that there's an opportunity here? Do you think that if Lucia is a good enough character that it could bring more female fans to Grand Theft Auto as a franchise?
100%. There's so many women who would love to just like have a female character to play. Like, anytime I'm making a character, anytime I am like doing an RPG or something, I'm picking a woman. I don't ever pick a man if I have the choice. So just to be able to be like, yeah, like I'm coming down through these streets and getting to like shoot at people, do whatever as a woman, just visually, that feels good to my body. The same way that for guys, picking a really buff ass dude with a crazy looking gun and like a face mask or some insane, however you want to deck him out, feels good to them.
I think and this says something about who I am, I really want both experiences. Like, when I play a game, any game that lets me choose, especially like, for example, Cyberpunk, right? This is a great example for this conversation. One character, but in the beginning you get to choose the gender of that character, and it makes a marginal difference in the experience. It matters. It changes the dynamic, whether you play V, male or female, but it's still V. And it's still kind of the same game, one way or another. Your interactions with people are a little bit different. Yeah. I went female on my first playthrough because I just felt like in an action game, it was just more interesting. I wanted to know, this is a game where we're running and shooting and trying to get power and trying to accomplish things, and I'm dealing with a lot of corrupt men. I'm like, how is that? Man, that's just a more interesting story. I just want to know what that's going to be like. And I play games mostly for story. I want to know the characters and the story, and I want to get something interesting that feels like something I haven't seen before. And how many action movies have I watched with Bruce Willis and Keanu Reeves? And I love those movies. I love that. There's fun movies. I love that shit. But when you give me the option of going, all right, you're going to start this out, and John McClane or Shirley MacLaine, I'm kidding, but it's like, which of the two are you going to go with? And I didn't really understand Cyberpunk's dynamic before I played it. I wasn't doing a lot of research on what the game was going to be, but it came out during the pandemic, and I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. Booted up the game, and it was like, boom, what do you got, male or female? I was like, oh, this game? Give me the girl. What the fuck is her life going to be like? That's crazy. Immediately, it's just more interesting to me. But, you know, not everybody has that experience.
I will say not everyone has that experience. I just saw a comment here that says she underestimates how many guys pick the female character. I completely completely do not underestimate that. So many of my male friends have showed me their like waifus that they make. They're like, look how hot she is. I'm like, absolutely. It is fun to play that. And especially in Cyberpunk, I think the cool thing, like you said, it makes a very little difference in the story, whether you pick a female or a male. And the only like real good gem that you get of an experience is the romance with Judy and how she doesn't care about men. So if you're a woman playing the Judy plotline and wanting to romance her and all that stuff, um, you get these really tender, beautiful, uh, like seeds of dialogue and also just a different way of connecting to that particular NPC because you're a woman.
Right.
So I really enjoy when it's like they have these things because the world is not, uh, whether it be cyberpunk, whether it be GTA, the world is not devoid of seeing gender. And I'm not asking for it to be.
Right.
I'm not asking for it to be like, well, I'm just like the men and everybody else, so I get no difference. Like, I still want to see realistic shifts of like, yes, there are moments where you see a woman walk in the door and you're a little less confident of her assassin abilities or whatever.
Yeah.
And to see those played out in a real way would be awesome. That'd be great.
Kill Bill is not a great series if all 5 of those assassins are men. It's not as good. It just isn't.
True.
The Groom, who gives a shit? I would not watch a 2-part 6-hour movie about The Groom. Who cares? And Blind Fury with a great comment here too. Sometimes I want to be someone like Sarah Connor or Ellen Ripley instead of Rambo or John McClane. And again, I think that it's just more interesting. And those are great characters. I mean, Sarah Connor may be one of the greatest female action characters of all time, especially from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2. Like, insane. Such a good thing to experience. Here's a question I'm asking you more so because I feel like chat's going to end up asking this at some point anyway. Do you think there's a high likelihood that the dynamic at the end of this game is betrayal one way or the other? Do you think Jason and Lucia are likely to be presented with the opportunity to betray each other? Is that interesting to you?
That would be cool. Because now I'm thinking like multiple endings, right? Like how are they going to have multiple endings? Is it just going to be the same wrap up to the story? Because if that betrayal seed was true, and it could spark off, you could go with him, you could not. That would be I feel like that would be a really meaningful choice to make. Because I do think like if they're starting off hot and heavy, super passionate, very Bonnie and Clyde style, and then it's this slow peeling away, the arc would be that friction.
Right.
The arc would be what happens. Like the reality of it coming back together again and being like, oh, but we're good now and we found peace in this way. I don't think it would be as satisfying, and I also don't think it would be very like accurate for people of that mind.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. You've seen the trailers and the screenshots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look forward to the possibility that we would get to see them smash?
Of course. Oh my God. If we didn't, missed opportunity. If you can show titties in a game,
right?
We want to see a sex scene, especially if they are like, I was like, especially if it's high def, especially if,
it's gonna be high def,
especially if you have a couple. That's one of the things about romancing in games is you get to see this arc of like, okay, are we gonna see this moment or are we not? And I like when you can.
For sure. Are you pro quick time event sex minigame?
Sex minigame? Oh, like what's that one game?
Like, are you going like smash, 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 or you're just like cinematic? You guys have fun with the visuals.
I like a cinematic. I've only ever seen one sex minigame, where it's like this god. Oh my God, what is it? What is the game chat where she's like, you have to please her, but she's this goddess, and if you don't do it, is it God of War? Um, it might be a God of War
I'm sure we'll get an
scene.
answer any moment now to that.
Yeah.
I'm sure these guys
Yeah.
have it on preload.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I'm more of a cinematic.
Are you pro them being able to smash others? So, like, they're obviously in a romantic relationship. A lot of people have talked about a trust meter dynamic that could be here, like the honor meter in Red Dead 2. So I've heard many people in many chats, many comments, what happens when you go to the strip club? We know the strip club's in the game. Are you able to go home with these people? Does it affect your relationship with your partner? Your thoughts?
So interesting. That would be really cool. It would also, though, if you had that trust meter, have to be very accurately built in about Lucia and her personality.
Right. Does she have a
And
problem with it?
likewise, I don't think she'd have a problem with it. But then again, who knows? Maybe she's crazy.
You're
Maybe
suggesting that this badass Latina girl is not jealous.
That's true. That's very true.
I haven't played the game, Gia.
Hmm.
I don't know yet. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She's from New York and she lives in Miami and she's Latina and she's like, go to the strip club, honey. Just do whatever you want. Titties in the face. I'm cool. I haven't met this woman in real life yet, but suggesting that she could be in this game is possible.
True. So it made me think of two things, right? I can very, very clearly see maybe like a scripted plot point where you do go to the strip club, you come back, and then you have an unfolding cutscene that where she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right.
But then I also feel like it's highly likely after that built-in moment or whatever that is, where you can go to the strip club, have a lap dance, do whatever, and nothing happens. Like I could see them not building that as like a trust meter situation, or and just letting it be like, all right, well you saw the moment, so it's up to you morally now, but nothing's gonna happen if you don't. You know what? I kind of feel like that would happen.
Yeah. There's also a world where you're doing a mission, you get back to the house and you robbed the thing or whatever, because Lucia was like, you got to do this, is so desperate. But Jason, you got to go by yourself. And you're like, okay, whatever. I know the guy. And you do the mission and you're shooting him up. You're all bloody, but you make it back. You're alive. You got the thing. It's all good. And as you're walking up the steps to that little beach house that they have in the Keys, you're like, what is that sound? And then you get in that front door and you're like, that kind of sounds like the headboard of our bed. And then you open the door and now there's only one character to play as because one of them murders the other one, given what they find on the other side of that door.
That would be crazy.
Can you imagine?
If it ends in murder, oh my God. Because I could also see Lucia being the one who cheats. Like,
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what I
saying.
mean? Yeah. Yeah.
And what if it's not a guy? There are male strippers and sex workers in this game, confirmed. But maybe he gets home and Lucia and one of the other female, and she went to the female strip club. She went to 919 and was like, what up, girl? I got a spot in the Keys. Let's go.
Yeah. Entirely possible.
This is the
And
boundaries I want to
that's
see
fun.
pushed because no one's expecting the shit I'm coming up with, Gia. No one is.
No, I didn't even expect it. Relationship boundaries and a trust meter and that whole play of it, that would be a really rich plot line as well to like induce more friction. And like issues and more reasons to distrust.
Right.
Like if a lot of it is built on trust, whether it be going out and doing like gigs together versus the personal trust that they have within their relationship. If we got to play with both of those elements,
Right.
that would be really cool. And it would steer away from, again, just like the one-dimensional female character like trope.
Yeah, for sure. Are you excited to go to the strip clubs in the game? I'm getting ahead of the chat's questions I know they have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like just seeing little bits through the trailer of how much of this game quality has improved, right? The jiggle physics
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
The like how
The
it
dangle
looks so
physics. We
real.
don't talk enough about the dangle physics.
The swang physics. You know, how far are you swinging? I
Hashtag
want to
swang
know.
physics. We need to get that going.
I know. I want to see it. I've only seen it in Cyberpunk, and that's it.
Right. That's true. And as my friend Midnight Vice, who's also a content creator, would say, it's kind of sexist if we're all titties, no balls.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very
I
good.
want to be able to run around naked if I choose, man or woman.
100%.
I want-
Or at least see those doing so. Blind Fury with a
Yes.
great comment. If I was Jason and saw Lucia with another girl, boy, I'm sitting in that cuck chair.
I love that. I hope that you get to. It's like walk in or intrude, and you can like sit on the side before you enter the cutscene and just be like,
The cuck scene?
Yeah, absolutely. I would hope that yeah, there's a cuck chair before entering the cuck scene, if you will.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's some fun stuff. Are you excited for this world? Every time Rockstar makes a new game, the world gets bigger, more expansive, more in depth. Sometimes that adjusts. You know, GTA 4 was a little literally smaller, but it was also very detailed. GTA 5 was a little bit lower on the detail, but the size and scale of things was just massive. What is your take on that?
So deeply excited. I am someone who, like I mentioned earlier, I love open world games with all of my heart
Right.
because you can explore in such a deep way. And when the writers of a game and the devs are really good, they will have things for you to find and explore and experience that you would never see if you didn't take this little offhand road,
Right.
that you would never notice if you didn't like enter this little door that you didn't even know you could go in, and there's a small bar in there and there's people talking and then a fight breaks out and like, so I'm really excited to see how much detail they add for the explorers, for the people who, for the areas that specifically you'd never go there if there wasn't a mission. What is there and what's around? Like, in the playthrough of GTA 5 that I'm doing right now, I am like enjoying looking around the world as much as possible. And what I'm noticing is like the small details that they've been adding, whether it be to like flyers on a post, um, different little conversations that people are having on the side, like you go, or I'm going through the world, but it starts to get ever so slightly repetitive in the small details. And I would be really curious to see how much differentiation they're going to have for all of that stuff as you explore. Um, you know, how many assets are they going to reuse versus being original per location?
Right. I cannot recommend him enough. And he's in the chat. He's been enjoying the stream so far. But Captain Glack is one of my favorite YouTubers. And I was a big fan of him before I was a content creator. I fully recommend that you go watch his videos, the most overlooked details of GTA, specifically GTA 5 as you play through it. First of all, his accent, he's got a lovely English like radio voice, which is just lovely to listen to. He will show you the things you've been like, oh, that's crazy. And then he'll take you even deeper and you'll be like, man, I didn't even know. Then he'll show you stuff that was cut out of the game that he found in the files. Yeah, very, very good content. If detail is your thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is absolutely my thing. Consider me a new subscriber, Captain Glack.
Get
there's
into
the
it.
fireworks. I saw somebody say the fireworks behind me cracked me up. I was like, what? When did that happen? But I just saw it.
I think something got you particularly excited, and it just was an expression of what you felt on the inside. And I was happy to see that animation as well, personally. I'm gonna let that ride with everyone's imagination, what that could possibly mean. Do you think that how will GTA 6 compete with games like Skyrim and Cyberpunk and even Red Dead 2 when it comes to immersion, making you feel like you're in this world? What do you hope for?
I really hope that there's not so many cutscenes and long story to take away from the personal immersion. I think when too many cutscenes can fill a game, it can start to feel like it's not really your experience, um, in a way. Um, because these other open world games, if they have too many cutscenes in them, personally, it takes me out of it a little bit.
Right.
Where there's not enough time to explore, where it's like every side quest you approach comes with a long 20-minute quest and, you know, a long thing. It's like, okay, that will steer me away from playing into the story. Um, so if there's a really good balance between open world exploration and the cutscenes when you want them not being too long or having you too locked in for too long, like Cyberpunk even borders that edge of like these cutscenes are long. If you enter a mission, it's going to take a while. Like, so be prepared, be ready. Um, so if they have long cutscenes, I hope it's countered by such an in-depth world of you being able to do stuff other than just like ride around and shoot people, to keep me entertained, because that's like one of the beauty. Like Skyrim is one of those games that I personally and so many other people can play endlessly
Right.
because there is so much to explore outside of the quests and do, and it's like more than just fighting.
Right.
It's more than, you know, and I kind of find myself getting locked into that a little bit with GTA 5. It's like there isn't so much that I can do when I'm not doing a mission. Um, you know, it's like for the most part I can cause a lot of chaos and do the fun thing of like how many stars can I get?
You don't feel like
But
there's a lot
that's
of
kind of
side content in GTA 5.
there what?
You don't feel like there's a lot of side content in GTA 5.
I mean, side content being like,
Anything that's not a story
what do you
mission.
imagine? Yeah, it doesn't seem that way.
Would you
You know?
rather watch a cutscene that is like third person cinematic, like a film, or would you rather, like Cyberpunk has a lot of, essentially cutscenes where you can kind of move around, but you're first person watching a scene in front of you? It's a bit more immersive, but I'll be honest, I kind of have my preference in this. I don't know how you feel.
Watching a cutscene, do I prefer it third person or
Third person cinematic,
first
like you
person
would
moving
watch
around?
a film, or like in a lot of first person games like Cyberpunk, you're like
Yeah.
watching and they're talking to you, then they're talking to that guy, and you're locked
Yeah.
into just one view.
I actually prefer the first person style where I can move around a little bit. So if I can choose what I want to look at when people are talking, what I want to focus on, that feels so much better. I love that I can like, you know, just like take a moment. Yes, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I also can like look around the bar. It makes me feel like I am the real person doing that.
Mm.
Like one of the best moments is one of the first cutscenes you get into in Cyberpunk is like when you go upstairs to the bar and you have to talk with Keith, and you sit down, that big fat guy locks you in on the other side, and while you're talking you can go back and forth between looking at this guy who's staring you down with a gun on the table and looking back at Keith. I'm pretty sure it's Keith, but like keep looking around. Like I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel more immersed as the character rather than the game being like, this is what you're going to look at right now.
Right.
Which also I don't mind. I love both of them just as much, but I do prefer the first person where I can like have some movement.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Would you rather, if you had to choose, would you rather have like 200 hours of like meaningful story content, even if it's kind of linear, or an infinitely like replayable sandbox where they're holding your hand a little bit less, but they also, it's like there's only so much depth to what you're going to experience, but you're going to keep experiencing new things?
Mm. Well, the first game that comes to mind that I love so deeply is Baldur's Gate 3. And they have about, I think it's something crazy like 200 hours
It's
worth
insane.
of cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that.
Okay.
It's perfect. And it's also because a lot of those cutscenes are fairly short. They're not locking you into something for a very long time, but it's so immersive in the sense that like you can walk up to almost any NPC and get a cutscene out of it. Like something crazy, like 60 or 70% of the NPCs that you walk up to will give you a little mini cutscene, even if it's just a couple lines.
Right.
Um, and that I really, really like a lot.
Do you
So I
think
think I'd prefer that over something that gives me very minimal space to play.
should RPG games get you to a point where you're overpowered, like full OP, you've got all the things, you kind of can't be hurt, unlimited health, as part of the end game? Or should they just consistently always be challenging, and even when you beat the game, it's still like you can get your ass kicked?
I mean, personally, I think it's a taste thing, but I really like I like the ability to this is just how I play, like
Yeah.
get into a game and like go through so many side quests to the point where I'm entering the main quest, I'm already like stupidly powered. Just because I had that curiosity to go like find a bunch
feel
of stuff or spend a
rewarded.
bunch of money. You feel what?
You feel rewarded for all of your effort exploring the rest of the world.
Yes, absolutely. Like if my exploration doesn't help me level up, then the exploration becomes less fun.
Hmm.
Because I also like simulation games a lot. So I like the building aspect of like my work, the things that I'm doing are going to add up to something. They're going to amount to a reward I have, a new car, a new opportunity, a new, whatever. And so if exploration doesn't come with that and it's like, no, you're going to level up by the plot. Again, it's like, it's just okay, but it being able to have something on the side that gives my brain something to lock onto, something to goals to have that are outside of the main quest. I think that's what keeps a game really popular, is like being able to level up those things simultaneously
Right.
in their own unique way.
Realism. Let's talk about that just a little bit. You're playing GTA 5 again right now and going through that story and that gameplay. Do you think more realism going into GTA 6 and in games in general, or does that detract from the fun? And I'll give you an example that's very popular in the community right now. Refueling your car. Something that we've never had to do in a GTA game before. It goes until it breaks.
Okay. So I'm very like, I love realism. Okay. Project Zomboid is one game that I play that is stupidly like, you have to think of everything in terms of these little steps that you take. Like if you work out, you do squats, your legs are going to be sore and your movement is going to slow down.
Damn.
I do enjoy that. However, when it comes to more fast-paced games, if they're introducing realism in a way that's going to slow down the gameplay and actually interfere with the core of why I'm playing this, if the core of why I'm playing this game is to have fun and be chaotic, my car slowing down mid-car chase or something, and I have to jump out and like maybe get into another car or whatever, or I have to go fill up the tank, I think that could become annoying. So it has to, I would love to see more realism and simulation-based things come into games, but I want it to come into I want it to be aware of why people are playing the game, and if they're adding realistic things that are going to detract from that versus things that are actually adding to it.
If you got shot twice in a GTA game and now you're dead.
I'd be so pissed. I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, it's like,
no.
oh, you got one shot in the shoulder, one in the neck, you're done.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Urban Shogun, thank you for the gift membership. You're a sweet boy, and we love you so much.
Sweet boy.
All right, let's move on. I want to talk a little bit more broadly about gaming, because there's been some developments just in the gaming world in the past month or two that I think are worth chatting about. And then we're going to kind of speed into a quicker round. I'm going to ask you some of your like top 3 favorite things, and then we're going to do a lightning round at the end. You still good?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. How do you feel about PlayStation removing discs in 2028. They say starting in January of 2028, they're not going to print games on discs anymore. We're going all digital. Physical versus digital gaming. Broadly speaking, your thoughts?
I'm so sad about it. I'm really sad. I think it's like entering into an era of just where the childhood we grew up with, the things that we grew up with are now only going to start living in our memory. And that is sad. I would love to see them continue discs, but you know, the tech world moves as it does, which is unfortunate.
Right. It does feel like a reflection of the market rather than like someone maliciously being like, let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
People are buying more digitally. And I have to say personally, I'm mostly with you. I love a disc, but I also haven't bought one in a really long time. And the two biggest things for me is just, I mean, it's really one thing. It's time. Since I started streaming and doing YouTube content, I've had multiple people buy me games where they were like, hey man, we got a buddy in here, Worst by Far is one of my subscribers, also one of my channel members, love him to death. We were talking about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I was like, oh man, I'm really excited to play it. And he was like, have you bought it yet? And I was like, no. And he sent it to me on Xbox, sweet guy. And I love that. And he also sent it to me instantly. There was no delay. He didn't have to go to a store and buy it and mail it. He didn't even have to go on Amazon and order it and get my personal address. That's another thing. People who I've never met, all we have to do is be friends on Xbox or Steam, and boom, they're giving me a gift. And vice versa. If I want to give you I find a game and I love it. This also happened to me on Quest. When I first got into Meta Quest with a buddy of mine, Tim, who was like, you got to get a Quest. And I was like, VR, I don't know. He was like, do it. I'll make it worth your while. I was like, okay. I got the headset during the pandemic and I was like, what do I do with, I don't know which games to play or with, it's a completely different market. I don't know these games. He was like, check your inbox. And I was like, okay. I go and he had bought me and sent me like 4 games and I hit one button and they all downloaded to my Quest. And in 30 minutes, I'm playing these different games with my friend. Like, it's just so fast. But I agree with what people say and what's being said often in the chat here too. It should be an option.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just not the time anymore. We're moving away. That I also haven't bought a disc in a very long time. My PC doesn't even have a CD-ROM slot. You know what I mean?
Same. I don't even have one.
It's really just, I think it's more nostalgic than anything else. Just the ability, like the days of us going to Best Buy and looking for our favorite game and taking it home and getting to read the cover and like being so excited, the anticipation of like, oh, it's finally in my hands. Like now I can go play. Like that was a journey in itself. And that was a really fun and beautiful experience that we just don't live in that world anymore. Like no one does.
Yeah. I think that's what drives a lot of it. There's 2 arguments and we can move on from this, but there's 2 arguments that I really hear. One is the nostalgia argument. I hear that because, I'm 38 years old. You think I don't remember physical games blowing the dust out of a cartridge so that it would work on your goddamn Sega Genesis? Believe me, I remember it and I look back on that shit fondly. I'm not that favorable towards that as an argument for why we should keep it as a medium. I want the discs, but that's not the reason why. Things come and go. I roll with the times. I'm cool with that. The preservation of ownership is important. I'll give a main example that's in the world that we're talking about. They delayed GTA 6 last fall. I said, okay, since I've got a year, I'm going to replay all the GTA games. I started from the beginning, GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. I'm like, oh, right, they're the PSP, PS2 era, Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories. And I didn't know this till I ran into this problem. I go to find Liberty City Stories. I'm like, it's not on Xbox. I can't buy it. They never made a definitive edition. The old version's not available. I found it on mobile. For some reason, Rockstar ported it to the phone so I could play it on my phone. But I'm like, how do I stream that? Finally, I start looking deeper into it. I'm like, that's just one thing. Maybe I could rig my phone up. Vice City Stories has a very specific problem. And as a result, there is no mobile port. You can't buy it on any store. You have to go to a pawn shop and hope they have Vice City Stories on PS2. And then you need a PS2 to play the shit. And the reason is licensing. Phil Collins is in that game. Not just his song, but his likeness and performance. There is a concert that you go to in the game that is a Phil Collins concert where he plays In the Air Tonight.
Oh my God.
Amazing, first of
That's
all.
incredible.
Such a cool thing that they put that in the game. But as a result, and a dispute between Rockstar Games and possibly Take-Two Interactive and the Phil Collins estate, world, whatever. I mean, he's still alive. I said that like he was dead. He's not. But like, they couldn't come to an agreement to relicense the shit. So as a result, you just can't play the fucking game anymore. And if that game didn't exist in some sort of digital format, physical format, it would be impossible to play the game without piracy. And so I'll be frank about it. How do we go about it? My buddy sent me a PS2, a physical PS2 console with a memory card, with Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories preloaded on the card. Don't know how he pulled that off. Not smart enough to understand that shit. So I've been playing through those games, God bless him, because he was able to get that together. But you pull the license, and now the original game that you're proud of, and, you know, last point I'll put on this, Alana Pierce, who is a former and I believe current journalist. She was in Cyberpunk as a performer and has been in other games. She's big in the gaming community. She made a video about this just a few days ago that I watched that I was like, man, you make a great point that I hadn't heard about this with the preservation. There are artists who made these games who worked for years on them, who are very proud of them. And without a disc, if all they have is a license and that license gets taken away by PlayStation or Microsoft or whomever, they can't even show their kids. If you're a painter, you at least, even if you still don't own the painting, hopefully you've got a print or you've got a photo of your painting. And when you have a kid or you got family or other people, you can be like, look at what I made. I'm so proud of this. I worked really hard on it. And as an artist, that got me because I was like, man, if I don't own the thing and all I can do is rent a license to my art, if I ever want to share that art with anybody, I can't because it's not within my control. And that's fucking sad. You're a photographer. I'm sure you've got situations where someone else owns your photos. And then later you're like, give me my stuff. I made that thing.
Super good point. I wish that, because I understand if everybody is moving to the digital age and like they're losing, you know, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever it is printing discs.
Right.
I can see why they would want to eliminate that cost. And to that note, like, dear Lord, if the games that, you know, I played as a kid or whatever, like weren't available on discs and it was only, and then it like went away and I was like, oh damn, that's literally only going to live in my memory for the rest of my life.
Right.
Like that's so sad.
Yeah.
I would hope that they would still, they're like, all right, we're going to release a smaller amount of discs and have those circulate. And then, you know, whatever, you buy it at a convention or something. If you're looking
I think the solution to this problem that will at first not be a solution they like, but hopefully will push them to create a solution is piracy. People will just take the game, whether it's digital or physical, they will make a digital copy of it in some way and start distributing it illegally. And eventually either that will make up, that's how you'll play the game. You want to play that game from when you were a kid in like 1998, you can find it on an emulator website. Or that'll happen enough to where Sony and Microsoft and the other studios and even Take-Two Interactive and other like parent companies are like, man, we're missing out on coin here. We need to make sure that these games are available one way or another. Or the pirates are going to keep making the dollar off of it and they'll hate that shit. So hopefully that kind of self-corrects over time as they move into this world. Okay.
I hope so.
Next thing. Name this is I want to kind of see if I can get some hot takes out of you. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Name one universally loved game that you don't like. What's one game that just everybody seems to fawn and glaze over and you're like, it's not that good? Or I just don't care for that shit.
That's a good question. Because I like a lot of shit.
Right?
I do.
I put thought into this list, Gia.
What don't I care for? Okay. Fallout.
Okay.
I don't care for it.
The whole franchise?
Well, I won't say the whole franchise, just the one that I have played, which is Fallout. Do I have it on here? Not it's the one where you go to the circus at one point. It's not New Vegas. It's the one before it, I think. I don't even, yeah, see, like I don't even remember. Like,
Because you didn't
I
like it
just
because it
don't like that
sucked.
world. I don't like the world. I don't like the gameplay. I like building stuff. I like you know, like
Right.
making the little forts or whatever. But
Speaking of
when it
which,
comes to
mine is
actual
Fortnite.
gameplay- Huh?
I said, speaking of forts, my answer to the same question is Fortnite.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Insanely
that one hits
popular.
spot
I
for me.
don't like it.
Yes. Okay. 100% agree. Fortnite, like I have written off any kind of battle royale style games in my head because I don't like them.
Yeah, I get
don't
that.
play them. Yeah. Fortnite, that's a good one.
Okay, let's spin this around. What is an underrated game that you feel like not enough people have played?
Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5. I will die on that hill as that is such an underrated game. I think it is the best one in the entire Far Cry series. It is absolutely incredible and so many people are like, "Oh, I haven't played about it or I've heard about it, but I've never played." I think it deserves a lot more
Slept
attention.
on. Got it.
Super slept on.
What is one opinion around games or gaming that you've had before that you feel like gets roasted every time you bring it up? Like you're like, I've kind of said, look, this is my take. And everyone's like, oh my God, dude, no, you're alone. No one feels that way.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe I've never even said this out loud, but I do think that simulation games can be some of the most entertaining and long-running, enduring games to be played. More than
games
open
don't
world
get
RPGs,
enough love
though,
is
I
your
don't
argument.
know. I don't think so. I don't even think I would stand behind. I don't think I would stand behind that. But I'll say simulation games need to get their credit. I think they hit a part of our brains that is very deep.
I appreciate that.
I don't know.
If you could permanently...
It's not very hot. It's not a hot take.
If you could permanently erase one trend in gaming, what would it be?
A trend. A trend. Give me some examples of what you're thinking of when you say trends.
Live service games where you don't pay up front and they're funded by microtransactions. And I mean, there's a trend across the board. A lot of I played GTA Online. Most people would argue that's a live service game. That's an example of a trend. Taking longer to make them is another trend. Microtransactions in general, just the idea that you would pay for anything after you buy the base game. Games always being online, where if you can't play them offline at all if you can't connect to the server, either because they're server rendered or whatever.
Okay, definitely a game where it starts off free and then to get everything and to level up, you have to buy a lot of shit. That is one that I'm like, please take it out. Like, don't pull me in with the free game. Like, don't lie, you know. And definitely if it costs stuff to buy the game and then you have to do microtransactions on top of that, that's just the worst. Like I specifically don't play games like that because of that.
What if that game allows you the opportunity to earn all the same shit through gameplay? You're just able to cut ahead if you pay real money.
Okay, then that's fine. I guess. I don't mind that at all. But if it's literally like you need to pay to unlock this bike.
Right.
You need to pay to get this skin or whatever. I'm like, who cares then? Like,
how do you
get
feel
me out of
about
here.
how do you feel about pre-order bonuses? If you'll give us the money before you get the game, then you get extra cosmetic shit that you can't get. And maybe in like 2 or 3 years, we'll like drop it into the game for everybody. But for the first couple of years, this nice shirt or hat, you can't get it. But if you order ahead of time and give us the money 6 months before the game, day one, you're going to get that hat.
Be kind of fun. I think they can be kind of cool. Like, you know, if they're releasing a new pack, I like little Easter eggs and stuff for like, hey, if you do something special, you will get something special that not everyone can get. I think those can be fun depending on what it is. I personally don't really lean into it because I'm like, what do I care about a new hat or a new this or a new that?
I agree.
Yeah, but I think those could be fun. Those can be fun.
Okay, top 3 video game villains.
Okay, number 1 is motherfucking Joseph Seed from Far Cry 5. That is, oh my God. He's crazy.
You seem a little aroused at the same time. Can I be honest with you?
I am, because he's also hot.
Right.
Like,
I felt that.
The best way possible. Joseph Seed is like one of the most psychologically like
he's the cult leader guy.
Yes. And in the whole game plays on his belief that he is
See how excited she is? The fireworks are happening again.
Yeah. He is. I'm just like, oh God, that story and him, it's so insanely good. I won't go too deep into it because I can go on forever. But
it sounds like you want to go pretty deep with him, but go ahead.
I do, and I will when I especially do my Far Cry series.
Would you find yourself in that cult if you were living in that world? Would you be charmed?
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. But what's crazy is this game plays on this part of like, yes, there's a crazy cult. It's a crazy cult leader who believes he's God.
Right.
He believes that he is taken care of as God through the words. And I'm going to say this because it's the very first scene in the entire game. Like it's not a spoiler or anything, but he mentions you are there as like a lieutenant, like some kind of police force government flying in to arrest him, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're taking him back. One of the things that happens, you're a rookie, you walk in with 2 other dudes, and they're like, all right, rookie, they like put the cuffs on him. You enter this church while he's giving a sermon, and he is unbothered by your entry. There's power, everyone's looking at you, it's dark, it's scary. He at one point holds out his hands for you to arrest him and goes, God will not let you take me. And initially you're like, fuck this guy, you know, like
right.
Write it off, whatever. We can arrest him. There's no way that like, God's not going to let you take me, blah, blah, blah. In one ear, out the other. Series of events unfold after that point to where that sets up the whole game of why you're stuck in this area is as your helicopter's going up, you're like, dude, God, we got him. Something happens to the fucking helicopter and it crashes and you are back in this world, and he gets out and he goes free with the rest of his cult. And that's what kicks off the entire game.
Right. And
so he plays into this deep thing of like hearing the word of God. What is fate? What is really destined? And what is not? And you have to be like, okay, am I a believer or am I not? what is going on here in this world? And that is a choice that you get to make as a player because they have 3 different endings. So it's God, it's absolutely incredible. But him being a prophet is a very like story rich, psychologically incredible plot line.
All right, give me 2 more villains on your list. Make it quick.
All right. I'm gonna go Ketherick is a great villain from Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
I'll do that one. And then I'm also gonna say Moneybags from Spyro just for fun.
Let's go. Fantastic choice.
Thank you.
Okay. And this is quick too. Rapid fire on this. Top 3 video game worlds.
Okay. Ghost of Tsushima. Beautiful. Oh, love it every time. Cyberpunk. And third, I'll actually say Elden Ring over Red Dead 2. All 3 of those have just deeply beautiful, incredible, immersive worlds that I am obsessed with.
I love that. All right. This is your lightning round. I'm going to give you this or that, and you have to answer right away. No equivocation, no detail. You just have to pick one.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
First person or third person? You know what? Hold on. Let me make sure that I get this right because it cuts off sometimes your audio when you first respond. So give it to me one more time. First person or third person? Oh, it's still... I told you to go fast. Wait 1 second after I'm done talking so it'll clip over to your mic because it keeps cutting you off.
First person.
Great. That worked great. Awesome.
Great.
Okay. Watch Dogs or Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk.
I'm surprised by that. Skyrim or The Witcher?
Skyrim.
Open world or linear story?
Open world.
Controller or keyboard and mouse?
Controller.
Love that. Physical or digital?
Digital. I'm sorry.
Single player game, multiplayer game?
Single player game.
Not surprising. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Mods or vanilla?
Mods.
Ugh, okay. Now we disagree. Character creator or predefined protagonist?
Deep character creator.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Fast travel or no fast travel?
Don't hate me. No fast travel.
I don't hate you. I agree with you.
Okay, great.
Romance options in games or no?
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
I agree with that. All right. This is your last question. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
I want you to imagine that it is November 2027. So a year and 4 months from now.
Okay.
GTA 6 has been out for a year. Looking back, what do you think people will end up remembering the most about this game?
That it is one of the some of the best graphics that we've ever seen in a game and very deeply realistic gameplay. More than any game before. That's what I think.
I think that's very good. Okay, here's what we're going to do, folks. This is your last chance to get questions in for Gia. We're going to take a very quick, 2-minute break, and we're going to let everybody get their questions in. Anything that you want to ask, please drop it in the chat. Mods, anything that you've collected so far, and anything that shows up in the chat now. Pick your favorite stuff. I'd really like to stick to 5 or less questions. I know that's not a lot. If we have time, we'll get to more, but I don't want to keep her here all goddamn day. So let's get the questions in the chat. We're going to take a very quick break here on the stream. Don't go anywhere, and we will be back with RPGia. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Vinewood Public Access, the only GTA channel coming to you live from the real Los Santos, San Andreas. Straight out of Vinewood and hosted by Rob Morris, American screenwriter, TV producer, and GTA super bitch. We cover GTA 6 news, GTA Online updates, and travel to the actual Grand Theft Auto locations in real life, exploring the inspirations for Vice City, Los Santos, Las Venturas, Liberty City, and more. We live stream 5 days a week where we cover GTA news, theories, take questions, and live call-ins. We even replay the classic Rockstar titles, sometimes while throwing back a few cocktails. It can get pretty wild on Wednesdays. VPA is also home to the #1 fan-created GTA Talk radio station. Vinewood Public Access is a fully produced in-game radio station just like WCTR, Blaine County Talk Radio, or maybe the most like Chatterbox FM. It's written into the canon of GTA Online in the HD universe and actually syncs up with the 48-minute in-game day. There's hours of the station that include holiday specials and loads of Easter eggs for true fans of the series. So, if you're tired of the same old radio looping over and over, try putting on Vinewood Public Access the next time you boot up GTA 4, 5, or online. Available here on YouTube or Spotify. So that's who we are. Join our Discord server and let us know who you are. And consider becoming a member of the channel, because if you love Grand Theft Auto, you may have just found your new favorite thing. Welcome to Vinewood Public Access.
You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
Let's go. You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
3, 2, 1.
You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
Hell yeah! Let's go. Have a good one. Thank you.
Love it. I'm here and ready whenever.
Pop in. There we go. All right, folks, we're back. We're back. Oh, I see we got Sav in the chat. What up, dude? I was just telling Gia about you a couple days ago, as a matter of fact. Mostly good things.
Yes.
Let's look at the lists that we've got. Mods, if you could DM me the questions on Discord, that would be the most helpful way for me to do this. But I will hit some of these really quick. And I already see this one. I was going to ask this question as well. Your overall plans to replay past GTA games? I know you're going through GTA 5. Do you have an interest in playing the 3D era games like 3 in Vice City and San Andreas? Or GTA 4 is also not easy to get on the PlayStation, unfortunately, but you could play it on PC. Is that interesting to you?
The rest.
One more time?
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would very interested in playing the other GTA games, 100%. I think when I'm finished with 5, I know I want to do Bully, that's not a GTA game, but after that, I'd be super interested in playing the other ones.
Yeah, if you want to play any of them on the PlayStation 2, let me know and I'll lend it to you. Because once I get done with, I will. Once I get done with Vice City Stories, I'm happy to kick that over to you and let you play it the OG way.
I would love nothing more, Rob.
Do you have a favorite Grand Theft Auto protagonist?
Yeah, I think it's Franklin. If Lamar could be a protagonist, I'd choose him. But
Lamar is arguably
Franklin
my
a lot.
favorite character of all time.
All time, right? He is perfectly written, perfectly acted, perfectly animated. He is perfect. Lamar is the perfect character.
Yeah, and his voice actor, if you go and you listen to them talk about him mostly, there's not that many interviews with him, but when they talk about working with him, he would just come into the studio and they would give him the script and he would just off the rails. And he couldn't do it. Like, he wasn't good at memorizing the lines and keeping things set exactly how they're supposed to be. So like a lot of Lamar is improvised. It's just that guy being himself. And he'd be like, all right, I get the vibe, homie. And he would just go. And they'd be like, that's not the words. And he was like, yeah, man, I don't remember. Sorry.
Because it's not the words, but it is Lamar. Like, he is just that essence. Like, of course he would. Oh my God. I love knowing that.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it so
one
much.
of my favorite things about it. Do you think we'll have more non-NPC reactions like the camp on RDR2? Oh, yeah. Do you think, I don't think of non-NPC is right there. Do you think that we'll have any kind of like main area where we continue to have these smaller interactions that fill in the story for GTA 6? Does that seem likely to you?
I hope so. I think that would be really smart on their part to do, like, just a hub where you can reconvene with characters that you've already talked to and enjoy that space. Yeah, I hope so. Fingers crossed.
I think we talked about this earlier because Cal did ask, but you think Lucia as a protagonist is likely to bring more women into the franchise as fans?
Yeah, I think that if there's a subsect of women who have never played GTA before, they're going to start with that. They're going to start with GTA 6 and play as Lucia, and I think if they like it, they'll move on to others.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. T. Burton wants to know plans as soon as you can be in free roam in GTA 6. And I've heard this asked of a lot of content creators. You start the game, you're probably going to have a prologue. You're definitely going to have some sort of opening mission, tutorial style situation. At some point, they're going to give you at least free reign on part of the map and say, go, explore, live your life. I've heard, and I'll give you just a little bit of context too of other things I've heard so that you can kind of think about this. But some people are going to sit and just listen to the radio. Some people are going to drive as far as the map will let them. Some people are going to go try to find a side activity. Some people are going to that strip club right away. What do you think?
Okay. First thing I'm doing, I'm releasing my Chaos Gremlin. I want to immediately jump on top of a moving car and shoot people as it moves and just see how long I can stay on there and how far the car will go.
I have not heard anyone give that answer yet.
Okay, good.
That is unique. That is original.
Thank you.
That is very specific. I love that.
Yeah. It's very me.
What? You know? Yeah, no, that is a chaotic gamer bitch if I've ever heard one.
Yep.
What are you hopeful for in the world of the radio stations? What kind of music do you like? I know you've heard obviously some of the radio in the different games that you've played, but what are you hopeful for in that realm?
Well, that they do something similar to Cyberpunk where they are inviting real artists in to make games specifically for this soundtrack. So there'll be new original songs coming from artists that we actually kind of know on some level, creating games for, or creating songs for this Miami City radio station. I think that would be so sick. And then of course, like, I want to hear the deeply immersive, chaotic commercials and little talk show breaks, interviews that continue to build the lore of the world, not just like be random little things, but like things that we can call to. I want to hear references on the radio that I can see in the world as well.
I love that. Who do you think is an artist that you would really like to hear on the radio, or maybe a celebrity that you think would make a good DJ? Because that is the thing that they've done well in the past on GTA 5, just as a quick, easy example. Kenny Loggins is a classic American rock artist, pop artist. He hosts one of the radio stations on the radio in GTA 5. Also, his music is present in it. They've done a great job in the past of inviting real-world celebrities to host the stations, either as a character or a fictional version of themselves. So yeah, artists and celebrities that you think would just be a good fit for modern day Miami parody and satire.
The first person that comes to mind for like a talk show is Ryan Seacrest. And I think it's just because he's become such a like mannequin-esque statue of himself. Like he has become this plasticky host. I think that would be so fun to
And he
hear
does have a great
fucking-
sense of humor. He would crush it.
Oh my God. Yes. To hear Ryan Seacrest as a host on the radio would be phenomenal. I'd love that.
I remember him in, what movie is it? I think it's Knocked Up with Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl. She works at E! And I think there's a whole segment with Ryan Seacrest where he's kind of doing an almost comical version of himself where the camera's cut and he's like a dickhead.
That's great.
Yeah, he would crush at that. I hadn't heard that as an option. I've heard that. I've heard people say Theo Vaughn. A lot of people think that he would be great, especially on the northern part of the state, given that kind of southern boondocks radio host vibe. I think that's a good idea. This is good. Let's see. All right, let me check my list and see if we have anything else. 1 second.
I see a comment that says in-game Mint Mobile ads. Yes. Yes, please.
Let's go. Yeah, 100%. That's Reynolds, right?
Yep.
Amazing.
But not anymore. He sold the company.
Oh, did he really?
He did.
Got it.
$1 billion or something crazy.
God, that dude's so smart. Favorite antagonist that you've encountered either in a GTA game? I mean, you mentioned Far Cry 5, but I think in a GTA game.
Favorite antagonist? I don't know if there's an antagonist that comes to mind for GTA.
Well, if you've only played 5, you only have a few to choose from.
Yeah, it's not many. And I wouldn't say any of them are typically my favorite.
They're no Mr. C.
I come back to this one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. Cinnamon Stationery instead of Mint Mobile is pretty funny. I'll see if there's any other questions on here that just jump out to me. Your last chance, folks. Which GG? Yep, see that. I see that. Boop, boop, boop. Yep, I got that one. That's pretty good. All right. I think we got it. I mean, this has been like 2 hours. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me because this has been amazing. Do you have any final thoughts on everything or anything that you want to say, just kind of wrap it up? And I'll say before you even get there, everybody, please go subscribe right now to Gia on YouTube, also on Twitch as RPGia. She has a great deep dive video that she just put out on Watch Dogs, if you love that series, on the Owl Motel. She and I actually went to the real life version of the Owl Motel in Santa Monica to shoot some content, which you can see in the video, and I think more will be coming out, so please give her a follow. But yeah, any final thoughts on just GTA and VPA, and what do you think?
Happy that we did this. Thank you so much for having me on and for everyone being so welcoming and excited to join in the conversation. This is so fun. I absolutely love talking about video games. And yeah, I saw a comment earlier. It's like, they were like, in a nice way, why subscribe to me? Totally fair. I would say, like, I just launched my YouTube channel. Still like getting in the good flow of things, but I am a very immersive role player. I like taking long, detailed looks at the worlds, doing big lore deep dives. That is definitely my style, my thing. So if you like story rich content where I dive deep into shit, that's my bag. Yeah, but I love this. I'm super excited for GTA 6. I'm excited to like keep playing through GTA 5 and like really finish it for the first time ever. I've only ever gotten like 70% of the way through. So I'm excited, but this is super fun, Rob, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who's like hanging out watching. This is a great time.
Yeah, it really seems like they enjoyed your company, and as did I. I will say this, and I just thought of one last thing to kind of plug this in because this is what's on everybody's mind. We still haven't gotten a third trailer for this game. The last one that we got was over a year ago, and a lot of people are very upset with the fact that we still haven't got one. People thought May, then they thought June. Now July's been this other thing. How much more of this game, of GTA 6, do you need to see in order to buy it? Or have you seen enough?
No, definitely haven't seen enough. I need to see some like actual like full-on gameplay, like not just trailers, but some lengthier released legit gameplay that's not just AI videos being like, this is GTA 6. And you're like, no, it's not.
Right.
I want to see how it actually moves and works and feels. That would get me to buy it. And then also I'm probably not gonna get it as soon as it's released, just because it's such a hefty game. I doubt my computer will even be able to run it very well. I want to give it some time.
It won't be available on PC at launch.
Okay, well, great.
So you'll either have to play it on PS5 or Xbox Series X or S. Those are the launch platforms.
Okay, good to know. I like to wait for the bugs to get out a little bit, and I feel like it's going to be pretty buggy. Not gonna lie.
I think that's a hot take itself. Rockstar games are not usually super buggy at launch, but it would be a big story if it were. I mean, GTA Online was buggy as hell when it launched. That was definitely an issue, but they had never put one out like that. But their story games usually don't have a lot of issues. It's never been a cyberpunk situation for the Rockstar games, but man, that would be a headline.
Yeah, and I like, who knows, but I just feel like with such a big game, with the way that it looks, I just feel like there's gonna be some unexpected issues.
It seems like it's likely. I mean, you do something this ambitious, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We all hope everybody subscribes to your channel. We look forward to your content coming forward and catching a stream. And we'll have you back on the show, and we'll catch up again further down the road.
Yay! Thanks, Rob. This was fantastic. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much,
everyone, for welcoming me so kindly.
100%. We got you. Take it easy. I'm going to head back over to the studio.
Sweet. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
And a great weekend, everybody. Let's go.
And a great weekend. Yes.
All right, everybody. That was RPGia. If you haven't already, subscribe to her channel. Get it going. Here's two announcements I want to make really quick before everybody takes off. And I know you're all going to want to jet because it's already been a couple of hours. First of all, wasn't that great? She's so lovely. She is so kind and generous with both her time and really excellent thoughts on things. Several things that I've not heard from a single other content creator in this space, not just about females in gaming and Lucia Caminos and all that stuff, but her plans for the beginning of the game. I have not heard a single person mention Ryan Seacrest, so I think I'm going to call that a big W idea. I think that's great. So I really appreciate that. First big announcement is I plan to make this a regular Friday stream. So if you have not been here a whole bunch of times before, you're just joining us on VPA, Wednesday night, Wasted Wednesday, is really the only consistent thematic day of the week. Otherwise, our streams are a little chaotic. You never know if you're going to get gameplay, if you're going to get talk radio, what it's going to be. From now on, Friday at 11 a.m., the plan is to have on a different content creator and have a dialogue, have a sort of interview where we get to know them, get to know their background, and get some of their thoughts on the game, and maybe even more broadly on the gaming industry as we talk about this stuff, because I feel like we all are out here monologuing on a regular basis. So let's get a little bit more dialogue going on. Second announcement, and I'll put this out in a more official way, but I have mentioned this already. Tuesday, July 28th, 2026, bitch, is two important things are happening. First of all, it's my birthday. Second of all, Vinewood Public Access, the in-game fan-made talk radio station, the #1 fan-created GTA talk radio station, day 3, the third 48-minute day that I've produced is coming out on Tuesday night. The hope is to have a live stream before that premiere with some of the other content creators that are on that episode to talk about it, to talk about a few different things. So we'll see who we can get, but hopefully on the live stream, we'll get to talk to at least some of the following people that are on the episode: Sav, Bogan Bav, Will Mac, Midnight Vice, Blind Fury, all of these people who have helped me make this station. And a big shout out to Captain Glack for his contributions on the footage. We got some really great in-game footage from Captain Glack, who, again, I cannot shout his name from the rooftops enough. So VPA Day 3 comes out on Tuesday night. Stay tuned for that. We'll make a big deal out of it. I appreciate all of you for joining us on today's stream. And as I mentioned, tune in next week on Friday, where Will Mac, who has been all up in our chat today, will be our next guest and kind of get to know the creator behind the creation, if you will. That's the goal. Thank you all so much for joining us, joining me, joining Gia. Subscribe to everything and everybody. And we'll catch you on the next one. Later, boys and girls.
You got napkins or something.
What's up, everybody? It's Rob Morris from Vinewood Public Access.
Vinewood Public Access.
Head over to Vinewood Public Access.
Oh my God!
Public Access.
Thank you.
Go to Vinewood Public
So
Access
fun,
and click
Rob.
subscribe on YouTube. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
You're watching Vinewood Public Access.
Great. I had so much fun. Me too. Yeah, that was just such a fun conversation. It's very rare that I get to talk about video games for 2 hours, and it's fun to know that I'm like, we just had so much more in us. I'm sure we could talk for fucking ever.
I'm Rob Morris, and this is the real Hove Beach in Broker, in the real Vice Cities. This is the real Los Santos.